St. Louis Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. In, up, fixed, out. Get great offers on most 2014 and 2015 Chevy models. Find new roads at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. It is the first of 3 regular season meetings this year. The St. Louis Blues and Vancouver Canucks as the Blues begin a 2-game homestand tonight. Tonight the Canucks, Saturday against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Will Blues captain David Backes and Vancouver captain Henrik Sedin.
Last year the Blues could only muster 1 point out of 6 against their longtime rivals. It is United Way night at Scottrade, and David Backes and Henrik Sedin will participate in the ceremonial puck drop.
That's a win for Backes on that draw, right off the hop.
He's 1-0, Panger.
Thank you, fans.
That's great to see. Scott Chinook, obviously really great. Chinooks right here, and the United Way and the St. Louis Blues together for all they do.
And there is Henrik Sedin, he and his brother Daniel with Radim Vrbata to begin things. Canucks are coming off a 6-3 loss Tuesday in Dallas. But boy, Jake Allen goes for the Blues.
They played well in Dallas, though. They outchanced Kari Lehtonen and the Dallas Stars. Ryan Miller got pulled in that game a couple of minutes into the second period. But a couple of bad breaks. His own teammates knocked him out in front of them. But Ryan Miller is, no question, a very elite goaltender in the NHL. Started out on fire, didn't he, John? 7-0-1 to begin his career with the Blues.
And he will face his old club tonight against the youngster Jake Allen, his second start of the season. Of course, Allen in goal in Arizona in that 6-1 victory. As Steve Ott gets set to line up against Radim Vrbata, whose hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. It is Backes, Ott, and Oshie against the Sedins and Vrbata.
And the defensive tandem, they'll see them every single shift at even strength. Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester back together again.
Coach Hitchcock says he will use those two together at home games as the Canucks win the faceoff and Edler fires it in. And now David Backes there to chop it back to center, handled by Alexander Edler. One of 4 Swedes on the Vancouver club. Now Bouwmeester for Pietrangelo. And he gets the puck on his center ice to his partner. Bouwmeester trying to get it in. That's kicked and held up by Henrik Sedin, who posts one ahead now for Vrbata, who spins one behind the Blues goal, and he goes off on a line change. Now Backes on to center ice. Lost it. 2-on-1 back in. Burrows. He walks in. Save. Rebound. They score. Higgins gets the rebound, and Chris Higgins makes it 1-0.
Blues on a change. It looked like on the far side that Alex Pietrangelo was in pretty good shape going up the ice. And the Blues changing. Miller gets a quick 1-0 lead. Good save by Jake Allen right off the hop. Pietrangelo makes a little move right there on Burrows. Burrows goes in. The first shot off the far pad. Rebound right there. And Higgins comes in and pounces all over. Chattenkirk just got on the ice on a change with Bouwmeester heading off it. You know, the comfortability of Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo right off the hop looked good in their first breakout. But then Bouwmeester had a hard time getting the puck in deep on the left side. And that turnover results in that play.
So 31-year-old Chris Higgins is second of the year at the 41-second mark from Burrows. And it's 1-0 Vancouver. As Dan Hamhuis fires to center ice. So rather inauspicious start for the Blues. Now number 13 is Nick Bonino, the former Duck. And Vancouver in the midst of a line change here with Kevin Bieksa. And here's Bieksa, crosses center. And Lato's one to the corner. Ian Cole back. On defense tonight with Shattenkirk. Now worked ahead by Laterra. And on for Schwartz. And he gets it in off the glove of Yannick Weber, who was signed as a free agent. Now Schwartz comes up with it. To the slot, Tarasenko drive. And that hit Spiza, I believe, and goes out of play.
Well, we go back to the goal that was scored, and we see the sequence of events here. You see that the pass up here to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo got his partner here, Bouwmeester. He's going off for a line change right here, and now Shattenkirk comes on, and then the puck not only gets turned over by Pietrangelo, but then Dave Backes is also coming up. It bounces beyond him, and then Burrows is in all alone.
Now the Blues win the draw. Jackman shot scooped up by Ryan Miller, and Higgins was there as the puck, Darren, as you said, it really bounced over a couple of Blues. Tough break, but then Burrows had a partial breakaway.
Well, you know, especially when you're knowing that you're going to get a change. That line had been on the ice since the puck drop. That puck has got to get in there deep. Just a little mistake, ends up in the back of the net.
Now a centering pass by Tarasenko intended for Laterra, and now walked along by Christopher Tanev, and that goes deep. And the BC native Jackman back to get it. He is paired with Jordan Leopold. Now on for Tarasenko. And to center ice, walked in by Schwartz. His shot blocked. Jackman trying to hold it in. He does that. Now to the corner for Tarasenko.
You can imagine that Laterra's shifts are going to be a little short with this team battling that bacterial virus that's kicking around right now. And obviously 8 or 9 guys that you had mentioned in the open, John, you know, not feeling great. You're going to have quick shifts, not get caught on the ice too long.
And now it's dumped to the Leopold corner. He goes up the far side for Jackman. Pass to center ice off the leg of Ryan Reeves. And Lapierre will beat Tanev to the dot, so no icing there. Of course, Lapierre, a former Canuck, went to the final with that team back in 2011. Now a shot from the corner by Derek Dorsett. Hit a body, comes to center, and recovered by Tanev. Now for his partner Edler. Hansen trying to walk in. He squeezed off the puck by Cole, who deals it back to Shattenkirk. Now ahead for Reeves. Reeves filters one to the corner. Magnus Payarvi there for the Blues. Andrews gets it away now for the rookie Lyndon Bay, who was picked up in a trade from LA. In the slot to Daniel Sedin, a shot, and Allen makes the save on Daniel Sedin, who had a pretty good chance there.
Yeah, really good save there. Coming across from his left to his right. An excellent pass by Verbata over to his new line mate, Sedin. And you can see this 5-man cohesive unit by the Vancouver Canucks coming through the neutral zone, and led by their defenseman, Kevin Bieksa, is the one driving hard to the net right there after the Blues got 3 men in deep in the offensive zone.
And now the Canucks win the face-off. Hamhuis back of the goal for Daniel Sedin in front to Henrik. And a good stick there by Jake Allen. And now the Blues away to center ice. Canucks right back in. Daniel a drive. He put that one high. Sedin is off to a great start. Daniel has points in all 5 Vancouver games. And now David Backes swoops into the Canuck end. For Ott, back to the top for Pietrangelo. He plays one to the corner. It comes around for Ott. On the cycle now for the captain. Backes trying to get away from his check for Oshie. A shot. That's wide. Here's Pietrangelo. And he can't pull the trigger. And then he is knocked down by Daniel Sedin. Shots 3-1 Vancouver. And the early goal from Higgins as both clubs make changes. Here comes Jay Bouwmeester. That's tipped along by Steen. And Ryan Miller wanders, sets it up behind the goal for Spiza, who was picked up in the Ryan Kessler trade. Dumped in by Bonino. Here's Leopold. Court check by Burrows. And the puck comes back to the near side now for Joakim Lindstrom. And a big collision there. Top straight of Leopold. Up the boards now for Steen. And off the boards and out.
Steen, one of the players that was not on the ice there yesterday, so we'll have to monitor his shift length here.
And now the Canucks go for a change. Here's a long feed for Lindstrom. He'll drop it back for Leopold. And that is put too high over the boards at that Vancouver bench.
Well, while Leopold goes for a change there, that puck went into the Vancouver bench. Time now for our Toyota keys to the game. We are early on. It's a 1-0 deficit, but you've got to close the gap against the Sedins. They will not dump the puck in. They are a puck possession tandem, and along with Verbata, and you've got to own the 5-on-5 game. The Vancouver Canucks are a minus team 5-on-5. The Blues are a plus team, even with that first goal against the Blues early on in this one.
Well, the Blues' 3-game road trip, they scored 6 goals total. 4 on the power play, 2 at even. They allowed 5 and only one even strength goal against on the 3-game road trip.
Hooking penalty right there. Ian Cole got the red line and then just a soft chip into the Vancouver zone. Richardson defending gets the hook on Matera. And first power play of the game. Much needed one. The Blues have not tested Ryan Miller at all here. Almost, well, we're in our 5th minute into this hockey game.
And there is rookie coach Willie Desjardins. Blues get it. Steen a shot. That's off the end boards. Comes in front. And now smacked off the glass and down. Blues power play. 6 for 20 this year, 30%, second best in the league. The Canucks on the kill, 86.4%.
Well, the key here, you're going to have to be aggressive on Ryan Miller. Make life uncomfortable with him on the paint.
Well, Steen trying to track you down to the corner. Puck comes in front. And plenty of time there for Edler. And ahead to Hansen, who has great speed. He gets it by Shattenkirk, short-handed in front. And that was broken up by the Blues. And 40 seconds gone on the power play.
Good shift by Hansen, and then Hansen knows he's going to get a change right there, and he finishes off his man, lays in a little hit right there.
Last year the Blues were 1 for 6 in 3 games against Vancouver. Now it's stolen here at center ice. Here's the longtime Blue Jacket Dorsett. He played for Hitchcock in Ohio. The Blues get it back, and Oshie hooks it back for Bouwmeester.
Well, Dorsett wanted an interference call there on Bouwmeester. I think he had a pretty legitimate beef. He had dumped the puck in, and Bouwmeester, wasn't going to be able to get the puck and was close to the man, so he eliminated Dorsett from getting any further.
And now the Canucks march to center ice. The Sedins. This is Daniel. And he'll play it back for Dan Hamhuis. And then moved along by Daniel. And the Canucks are killing the power play here. 30 seconds left in Richardson's minor.
Well, players getting grumpy on the bench here. Fans getting grumpy in the stands as well. This power play's gone nowhere fast here, John.
Well, Tarasenko, he gains the line for Cole. And his pass down low. Tarasenko gets it back of the goal. In front of the Tara's there. Now the Blues get it back. And then Ian Cole takes it for Steen. A drive. And that was blocked in front off the Vancouver defense. That hit Edler. Tarasenko off the boards. And he was stripped. And Burrows will dump it down the ice. And no shots for the Blues on the power play.
Well, Steen comes off for a change here. He had the best chance right off the hop on the power play in the first 20 seconds off the face-off. Just missed on a one-timer. He plays the right side, and Shattenkirk was on his left side, so a right-hander and a left-hander on either side. And then this last play, Ian Cole, on the last part of the power play there, plays it over to Steen. He tries to go low to this glove side right there on Miller. Just missed.
And the Canucks off the face-off. They get it out. And then Leopold whips it back in. Payarvi leaves it now for Ryan Reeves. Reeves for Payarvi. And he's bottled up down low. Payarvi's second game of the year. He played in Anaheim the other night. Puck to the side. Lapierre there. Can't get it on goal, and now Richardson with it. And he sends the puck to center ice. Jackman turns it the other way. And now for Lapierre. It goes to Canada. He is rocked by Lapierre. And then Richardson's feed blocked. Oshie tried to hold it in. Now Bonino has it for Vancouver. Into Kassian. 2-on-2. To the net. Right in front. Allen got over and made a sprawling save. Richardson had everything open top shelf, but Allen got over.
Well, this is certainly a team that you can't afford to fiddle around in the neutral zone and turn pucks over. And the Blues have been guilty of not establishing their identity right off the hop. Blues look like they're in pretty good shape there. Oshie tries for a reverse turnover. Then he goes for the big hit on Bonino. It leads to this odd man rush, and boy, did Jake Allen get fortunate there. He's on his belly going across doing a snow angel, and instead of that puck getting up top, it goes underneath, and you can see the puck right there by his leg, but it gets covered up. In the meantime, for the Vancouver Canucks, our BJC Healthcare difference makers will give you an opportunity to peruse the change at the top. Trevor Linden, the former NHLer, is now the president of hockey ops and alternate governor. Jim Benning, who is with the Boston Bruins organization, the new general manager, and they brought in a new head coach. Out goes John Tortorella, 1 year of a 4-year deal, and Tort's gone, Willie Desjardins in.
As the Canucks missed the playoffs last year for the first time since 2008 with a record of 36, 35, and 11. As you said, Tortorella gone. after 1 year. Apparently the glass has an issue behind Ryan Miller, and they will have to repair that. Ryan Miller, of course, was in goal, as you said, Darren, 2 nights ago, and allowed 5 goals on 13 shots against the Dallas Stars. He left after about 21 minutes.
Yeah, a couple of clunkers that actually went off his own teammate and into the net, and his own teammate knocks him down right there. And obviously it's a new setup there for Ryan. He's got a new goalie coach. He went from Jim Corsi, of course, of the Buffalo Sabres. They were together for 12 years. Jim Corsi, of course, now the goalie coach here for the St. Louis Blues. And then he went, obviously, now he's got Rolly Melanson, the goalie coach in Vancouver. But there's the trade last year with Ryan Miller and Steve Ott. What a huge deal that was. There wasn't a person around the NHL that didn't think that was the deal that was going to put the Blues over the top. Chris Stewart, Jaro Halak, and draft pick William Carrier, and a first-round draft pick in 15, and a third-round pick in 16 headed over to the Buffalo Sabres. Now, for Ryan Miller, he signed a 3-year, $6 million per year contract with the Vancouver Canucks. And Steve Ott stayed, signed a 2-year deal as a potential unrestricted free agent. So Doug Armstrong keeps one part of that trade here. And there's Jim Corsi during the warm-ups, taking a look with Brad Shaw and Ray Bennett on the left. Jim Corsi is a former goaltender, played for the Italian national team, played in the National Hockey League, played with the Edmonton Oilers way back when. But he and Ryan Miller are very, very good friends. Ryan Miller last year told me he's one of my best friends. I mean, they were obviously 12 years, a long time together. They shared a Vezina trophy and together as well, and they went to 2 Eastern Conference finals as well.
And life is good for Ryan. He says he enjoys Vancouver. Darren, his wife, who of course is an actress in LA, is 4 months pregnant. So they're very excited about that. She's going to join him in December for the rest of the season. So Ryan was in very good spirits this morning.
Well, and why wouldn't you be? You know, you're still an elite goalie. You're going to get the majority of the starts. You're, you know, with an organization that you know, right now we're in a rebuilding mode, John. You know that. They're not Vancouver. They want to get things done and patch things up and go ahead. But it's a tough Western Conference. It's going to be tough sledding for everybody in the West.
Yeah, no question about that as they repair the glass in behind the Canuck goal. Well, we've got friends in low places, and as hockey fans, we love it when the Thunder rolls. It will roll here at Scottrade on December 5th and 6th as Garth Brooks comes to St. Louis for 2 great shows. Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and only through Ticketmaster. That's Garth Brooks in St. Louis on sale tomorrow at 10 through Ticketmaster. And a good crowd on hand tonight at Scottrade as the Blues begin this 2-game homestand. And early on, they trail the Canucks 1-0. For the next 5 games we play here at home. As they try to get the new sheet of glass installed. And it's not easy. Those panes of glass, Darren, as you know, they are quite heavy and very tough to maneuver. Like they have it in the right position. Well, so far, Darren, early on, the Blues have been out of sorts a bit. And a bit sloppy with that puck. And, of course, that led to that goal by Higgins early on.
Well, no question about that. That's an area of the game that the Blues still looking for that identity and how they're going to start hockey games. Are they going to get pucks in north? Or are they going to make plays through the neutral zone? And, you know, a lot of times you end up making the right plays. And so far in this game, you know, you got 2 reliable guys in Pietrangelo and Backes, and they're going through the neutral zone. Ends up being a turnover there and a 2-on-1 going the other way with a good first save by Jake Allen. And this is early on in the first period, the goal by Higgins. And it looks like the Blues are in good shape here. The puck's bouncing around right there. Backus and Pietrangelo going north. Burrows goes the other way. He gets it. His shot stopped. And then the rebound right there to Higgins. And then you see Oshie trying to do a reverse dump-in right there, but the Vancouver Canucks read that play. Bonino plays it up to Cashin. Cashin right over there to Richardson. And Richardson, if he gets that up high, about 3 more feet, there's no chance for the goaltender to make the save doing a snow angel on his belly because he lost his balance going from his right to his left. But a good break there for Jake Allen. And for the Blues, because that puck was laying loose right at his side.
And again, they try to get the glass inserted here. It's 1-0 Vancouver, 12:02 left here in the first period. 12:02 to go, first period. Vancouver leading 1-0. 12:02 left here in the first period. Higgins has the only goal. They have repaired the glass behind Ryan Miller. And Steve Ott and the Blues are ready to go.
Well, as the changes go right here, Steen and Burrows had some words, and there's too many men on the ice for the Vancouver Canucks, so Cashin jumps up off the ice, and by that point, Steve Ott, as he jumped on the bench, Ott grabbed him by the sweater right there, and they had a little conversation as well during the break that we just had with the broken glass. Always entertaining back here, especially when you got characters like Ott and Cashin.
And now Ott on the faceoff against Henrik Sedin. Ott wins it, and it's gobbled up by Bouwmeester. And that pass hit a stick. Goes to Vrbata, the drive, and it's blocked by Pietrangelo.
Yeah, he snapped his stick right in half.
And now the Blues to center ice, led by Oshie. Looking for his first goal of the year. Hooks it back, and that's picked up by Vancouver. And here's Henrik Sedin again. Vrbata into the forecheck against Backus. Comes around to Henrik. He was checked. And now Ott up on this side for Pietrangelo. That's chopped off a Vancouver stick, and it goes out of play.
Well, again, the word on the bench is going to be pretty clear, and it's not going to be from the coach. It's going to be the players themselves. They fully understand on the bench side saying, get the puck in deep, and, you know, on that kind of play, you're trying to force offense right there just at the top of the circles. I think the Blues can do themselves a favor, JK, and get that puck in deep and start working it down low.
Yeah, too many east-west and backwards passes right now. Dorsett, number 51, checked there by Shattenkirk. And ahead for Tarasenko. And then moved in by Laterra. Hit shot. That hit a stick, goes off the glass. And recovered by the Blues. Tarasenko pass back, and that's out of the zone. Cole will drill it right back in.
Yeah, and then takes a pretty good hit there from Hansen.
And now number 2 is Hamhuis up for Dorsett. Poked away to center ice. Vancouver began the year 3-0, but they've lost their last 2 games and have allowed 10 goals in those last 2. And this is Vladdy Tarasenko. Leads the Blues with 24 shots. Now Cole goes back to the goal, up on the wing now for Steen. 9:30 gone, first period. Only 1 shot for the Blues. Here's Tarasenko. Cruises in. Tough angle, a shot. And Miller got a piece of that. And now Edler the other way for the Canucks. To Bonino. And this goes deep. And around to Burrows. Now back for Edler. Edler pumps one back to the goal again. Higgins there. He has the only goal tonight. Now for Richardson. Worked over by Jackman. Puck to the front. Backdoor feed, and Steen picked it off. That was intended for Burrows. And Patrick Berglund wrist one to the corner. Here's Tanev. Now for Edler. And a good outlet for Richardson. And then moved along by Burrows. Pass to Richardson. He'll track it down in the corner. Hit there by Pietrangelo. And now Ott comes back to help out against Mathias, who came from Florida in the Luongo trade. And here the Blues to center.
High stick there on Richardson. He dropped his stick, got a stick up high. No call there.
Now Ott for Oshie. Trying to make a move. Broken up. Pietrangelo. And he had the puck roll off the end of his stick. Shot around by Weber. Kept in by Bouwmeester. And now Vancouver with it. And Kassian to center ice from Matthias check. Canucks making a change. Shattenkirk trying to find Lafayette open. And then Bieksa deals it up on the left wing now for Kassian. And then thrown to the far side by Lucas Spiza. Here's Henrik Sedin to center ice. Now Kassian 3-on-3 for Daniel. Finds his twin brother. Henrik in front. And that's broken up by Bouwmeester. With 8:35 to go in the first period. Bouwmeester to center ice. Steen hooks it in. Miller makes a save. Now Backes. Tough angle. That shot didn't get on goal. And then the Blues capped it around the Canuck goal. Now Backes gets it again. And feeds one for Ryan Reeves. And his pocket tipped by Hamhuis. Tipped away by Vrbata. Now for Henrik Sedin. Looking for his brother. There's Daniel cruising in for the pass just behind him. And now the Blues head north with it. Here comes Backes. And that is knocked out of midair by Edler. So it doesn't go deep.
Yeah, another one that's got to go in there deep after Backes did a good job of coming back and taking Sedin, who was wide open at the top of the crease.
And Schwartz a pass. That was picked off by Lyndon Vay, who played for Desjardins in junior hockey with Medicine Hat, and now the Blues are offside.
Well, Tarasenko's on the ice right now, and you mentioned before that he's got 24 shots, 13th most in the National Hockey League, and he's had 4 or more shots in each game played so far. Even a quick play like that on the short side, you can see the release. He's trying to go between the blocker and the body of the goaltender Ryan Miller. That's an area that he likes to go to, and he gets enough on it that it can squeak through there. But I think the Blues are going to focus on that blocker side on Ryan Miller.
Miller makes the glove save here. Spiza trying to work it away. Now the Blues get it. Steen in front. Can't get a shot. Puck kept in there by Lindstrom. For Steen. Now in front for Berglund as the Swedes have been put together here. Berglund and Lindstrom work back of the goal. Berglund back at center tonight. On the cycle again for Lindstrom. Try to fight off the checking of Weber. And it goes to Spiza. And it's out of the zone. Here comes Dorsett working on Leopold, and Leopold throws him down. And the Blues get the loose puck. And Steen with it. Plays one for Jori Lehtera. Under 7 to go here in the first period. Now Jackman off the boards. Lehtera, his pass blocked. And then Jackman tries the left wing side. There's Schwartz. That's tipped away to center ice. Here comes Tarasenko. At the line, he is forced back to center ice. Now Tarasenko blocks a pass. Has some speed in the zone. He moves in a drive, and he put that one high and whistled by the ear of Ryan Miller. Now off the glass and out of play.
Well, Ken Hitchcock's barking at the bench here, telling the players to keep it simple. The one player that's jumping right now is Tarasenko. He's getting the chances. And you can see that pickoff right there on the left side of your screen, and Tarasenko on a 1-on-4 still gets wide enough. He's smart enough to push the puck ahead, and he doesn't want that deflecting off Kevin Bieksa's stick and high over the glass. He just pushes it ahead. He pushes it. He doesn't stick handle enough where he's got to take it from the back end of the forehand, which results in a little bit more time for the defensive player to make a play. He's so smart at that, and by pushing it ahead and the strength that he has, he's able to just snap it so quickly.
And the Blues control the faceoff. Payarvi on with Reeves and Lapierre. And picked up by Max Lapierre. He is pinned by Tanev. And now they jostle for it. Kassian gets it. And then Edler plays one for Richardson. Popped in behind the Blues goal. Now Shattenkirk there against Richardson. And the puck up the wall. Edler pitches in a shot that drifts wide, and the short side hits the boards and goes down the ice.
Yeah, Edler, the left defenseman. The job of Ryan Reeves is to make sure he stays in front of Edler. He turned around for one split second, and Edler got behind him and had a sharp angle shot, but still made for a dangerous opportunity.
The only goal by Higgins at the 41-second mark. Here come the Blues. Pietrangelo. That goes around the boards. Off there along with Oshie and Backes. But the Canucks smartly to center ice. And now for Henrik Sedin. To Daniel. Bouwmeester there. And now Vrbata comes in to pick it up. Finds Daniel open again. On the cycle for Henrik. And he is slowed up in the corner by Pietrangelo. Canucks get it free though. Puck in front. Hit a body. Now Verbata. Tough angle. A shot. That goes wide. And then kept in. Drive by Weber. Hit a stick. Stays in the zone. Back of the cage for Verbata. Trying to stuff it in. And a good save there by Allen. Now the Blues net has come ajar. And we get a whistle. As Steve Ott bumped into a Canuck player. Canucks win it 1-0. 4:56 left. First period.
Fans on their feet here. Saluted as we take a look at Alex Pietrangelo. And when we take a look at our dirt cheap shot of the game, this is Alex Pietrangelo. You can follow him on Twitter, but his beautiful niece Ellie gave him a new look. Stand Up to Cancer for Alex Pietrangelo. That's his girlfriend's niece right there. And Alex Pietrangelo has gone through some real personal battles with his good friend Seth, a good friend of the Blues, big fan of the Blues, passing away this summer.
And a drive by Steed right on goal. And is Ellie ever a cutie, and we just wish her the very best.
Oh, absolutely. It's kidney cancer, and she's going to battle through that, and she's going to beat it up. There's no question about that. She's got a lot of people around her, a lot of strength. And, you know, for Alex, you know, he was the pallbearer at Seth's funeral. Seth's such a big Blues fan, and this guy wears it on his sleeve, doesn't he? He's a good man. He's got great blue and a great hockey player and a great person.
You said it very well. Great person, great hockey player. Well, Hanius lost an edge there for Bieksa, who had a tough game that night. Was -4 in Dallas, was Bieksa. Here's Burrows. In for Bonino, right in front, and a good stick there by Allen. Puck up the boards, and now back to center ice.
A good play there by Barrett Jackman, just making sure that puck gets out of the way. Can't be fiddling around or taking the time right in front of the net.
Now Burrows a pass. That's blocked by Jackman with 4:10 to go first period. And Jaden Schwartz had a 4-point night Saturday in Arizona. First ever hat trick.
Yeah, then had to play center the next night in Anaheim because of the sickness to Laterra.
And now Shattenkirk on to center ice. Here's Cole up the boards. Schwartz hit the linesman. That put the play offside.
Yeah, linesman trying to get out of the way. Sat on the bench, but couldn't. And that little innocent-looking chip just stays offside. Great call. These linesmen do a great job of dancing around. Very small area of ice. 200 by 85 is the surface in the National Hockey League.
The referees tonight, Dan O'Rourke and Rob Martel. Steve Miller and Michael Cormier are the linesmen. Now Tana for Richardson. Up the boards. Good hold in by Cole. Long shot. Tipped on goal. Rebound. Backhander by Laterra. And didn't get a lot on it. And now on the cycle for Tarasenko. To the back. Shattenkirk. Foot one to the corner.
Good feet by Shattenkirk there with his left skate. Keeping that in the zone.
And then Tana bounces one to center ice. Here is Tarasenko. Bumps Richardson off the puck. Now in for Laterra. He works in a drive. Save by Miller. That was the best chance tonight for the Blues.
No question. Fought that off with his glove. A good wrist shot there by Laterra.
And a high hoister glove down at the line by Ian Cole. As both clubs make changes. Cole now for Backes off his skate. And now recovered by the Blues captain with 2:50 left in the opening frame. Shots are now even at 6. Bouwmeester for Oshie. He'll drop one in on goal. Ryan Miller ahead. Hit a skate. Now glove down by Oshie, who always plays well against Vancouver. Puck to the corner. Comes around now for Verbata. And on to center ice for Daniel Sedin. And he delays. Looks for his brother. Goes back to the goal. Bouwmeester is there. Hit a skate. Comes to Verbata. He delays in front. Now another shot by Verbata. And a save by Allen as again the Blues cough it up in their own zone, and now David Backes involved with Daniel Sedin. Ott comes in with hand use.
Well, this will get the energy going, both in the building, in a relatively flat start to this contest. This always gets things fired up, and Backes' line going head-to-head with Sedin's line, Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester. Good save. Good save by the goaltender, Jake Allen, too. Having the trust to take away that short side with very little movement. Bouwmeester trying to jam that along the boards. Sedin keeps it in. Verbata gets 2 at it right there, and then gets a 3rd attempt with Sedin going to the net, and Backus taking exception to Sedin in front of it. That's Daniel Sedin, 22. Bieksa jumps right in there. Faceoff will be on the outside, and it is because Bieksa jumped in there while the whistle had gone. Now, time now to take a look at our Plaza Tire Service even strength shot comparison. So the Blues with 3 shots on goal. They've missed 4 times. They've had 2 blocked for a total of 9 attempts, while the Canucks have a 1-0 lead and 1 more total attempts at 5-on-5.
As both Bieksa and Backus head of the box. And it appears that we'll get matching minors.
As you mentioned too, John, the best scoring chance of the game came off of a rush there from Tarasenko that led to Jori Lehtera right in the slot, trying to go to the glove side with a quick snapshot. Good save by Miller.
So we go 4-on-4 here. Now it is Shattenkirk in deep. Up front, Schwartz. And Steen. Alexander Steen tips one ahead. Shattenkirk now for Cole. Under 2 to play, first period. Cole gains the line. Hamhuis back. 2 Blues around him. Steen gets the puck. Steen in there against Yannick Weber. Back for Shattenkirk, now to Cole. Trying to walk the line. To his partner, Shattenkirk. A shot, it got through. And the puck in front. And then Cole was after it. He was knocked down. And we will get a penalty here.
Good play by Cole. He snuck in on Higgins. Higgins didn't see him there. That's a good read by Cole. He saw Shattenkirk got that puck through on a little snapshot. Higgins is saying, what's the call?
Penalty number 20, minor penalty for roughing.
They're calling it a roughing call as we take a look at his stick got up high, kind of lassoed or draped around his neck, and then the skates go out from underneath Big E and Cole. Second power play of the period for the Blues.
And this one is a 4-on-3 for 77 seconds. It is Lehtera and Tarasenko, along with Steen and Shattenkirk on this 4-on-3. Lehtera against Richardson. And the face-off controlled by the Blues. Tarasenko back to Shattenkirk.
Good face-off win there by Lehtera.
Shattenkirk with it. Thought about shooting. Tarasenko for Shattenkirk. Switches sides with Steen. Now to Steen. And a drive and a save. Rebound. Tarasenko let it roll off his stick. Now Tarasenko back to the goal. Canucks get it. And it's shot down the ice by Spiza with a minute to go in the first period.
Well, with Ryan Miller's experience as a Blue, he knows that the power play starts, with a pass from Shattenkirk at the point when Steen's on the ice, and for that one-timer, he got good position.
Great pass there. Now into Tarasenko. In front of shot. And he just missed. Great setup there by Steen. 45 to go in the period. Steen gets it again. Tarasenko for Steen. Looking for a tip by Lehtera.
A little firm of a pass right there.
Yeah, too hot to handle there. Now Steen again. In for Shattenkirk on this 4-on-3. Tarasenko. Shattenkirk a shot. Hit a shin pad in front. Maybe off Hamhuis. Recovered by the Blues. Now Steen again for Tarasenko. Walks in. And a diving play by Spiza to break it up. And he puts it off the glass and down the ice.
What a good read there by Spiza. I think that caught Tarasenko off guard.
And it is now a 5-on-4 with 7 seconds left here in the period. Blues to center ice. Here's Oshie. Time running down. Oshie in front. And he can't get a shot on goal. And that is the end of one.
Cross-check there by Henrik Sedin. Knocking Pietrangelo down to the ice at the end of the power play right there.
And the only goal by Higgins at the 41-second mark. Shots 8-8. Let's go to Pat and Bernie across the way.
John Kelly, thank you very much. 1-0 Blues trail the Vancouver Canucks. A quick goal there, Bernie Federko, and the Blues finally seem to have got their legs going in the last 5 minutes of the period.
Always tough to come back after a long road trip. Obviously, the Blues were in California. They had a little break in Palm Springs. So I think, yes, as they got going a little further into that period, I thought the legs came and they had a lot better of the chances in the second half of that first period.
Coming up momentarily, SAPA GM Country Intermission Report. More first period breakdown from Bernie. Let's tell you what's on tap for the Blues. It's all coming up next on your home of the note, Fox Sports Midwest.
We have played one period here at Scott Trade. John Kelly upstairs, Darren Pang downstairs. And Darren, I think from my perspective, too many turnovers in that first period for the Blues, including one that led to the only goal.
No question about that. I mean, that was the mantra on the bench, you know, through the course of that first period. And Bernie said it after the first period. There's no question it got better as the period got on, but clearly early on you're trying to establish your game and getting pucks in deep. So we've mentioned more than once on the bench that puck has got to get in deep in those situations. The turnovers were killing the Blues because momentum's going one way and obviously turnovers going the other way. But I want to focus on the glove position here if we can of Jake Allen here. We're going to show you Burrows' shot. He's going to the glove side. Look at the positioning of Jake Allen's glove. It's up very, very high. Now Burrows was saying between periods that Jake's the kind of guy that likes to give glove and take it away. But on that position, the glove position was fine for the goaltender. It was up high. It actually went off the cuff of his hand because the way he holds his glove position. But then the rebound much too juicy, and Higgins gets away from two Blues players to get to that loose puck.
Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. 14 to go in Higgins minor. Here are the Blues down by one. Steen trying to enter the zone. Now moved in by Shattenkirk. And it comes across to Backes, who has a couple of power play goals. Now for Steen. And a drive and a save by Miller. It's loose to the goal crease and knocked to the corner by the Canucks. And Higgins is out of the box. The Blues 2 shots on the power play. Now Higgins on his off wing. And a glove save there by Allen. Puck comes in front. And now recovered by Steen. And he is forechecked by Higgins. And now a pass by Steen, picked off by Bieksa. He walks in, and a diving play by Shattenkirk to break it up. And a 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Tarasenko. Right in to Schwartz. And a shot, and Bieksa partially blocked it. And the Blues never really got a grade A chance there on a 2-on-1.
Yeah, great opportunity squandered right there. There's no question about that. Two guys that can fire the puck. And I'm sure Ryan Miller's thinking Tarasenko is going to shoot that puck in the position that he was in.
And now the Canucks recover. Here is Hamhuis behind his own goal ahead for Vrbata.
There's a good defensive play, though, by Kevin Shattenkirk, sprawling, doing the snow angel there in front of his goaltender, breaking up that play.
Yeah, he really broke up an odd man at the other end of the ice, leading to a 2-on-1 for the Blues. Now Payarby after it for St. Louis. In there against number 6, Weber. And it is kicked away by Payarby. And the Canucks with it. They try to clear it. Kept in by Bouwmeester. A shot. That goes wide. Now back for Pietrangelo. His shot off the target. Looking for Berglund in front. Here is Bouwmeester back on the goal now for Lindstrom. The Swedes on the ice here for the Blues. Lindstrom to a wide open Pietrangelo. And now a wrist shot got through out of midair. A shot blocked. Bouwmeester, another chance. And that was stopped, and now Hamhuis hands it back to Miller, and we get a whistle.
Now the Blues mentality now are firing pucks. It started with Steen on the far side. But when you look at the Blues defensively, there's the play by Shattenkirk. He breaks up the play by the defenseman Bieksa. Now it's a 2-on-1 break. And Tarasenko's looking the whole time. And I think he did end up telegraphing this, but Bieksa was the first man in on the offensive zone, and it's Bieksa that comes back. And maybe that surprised Tarasenko. Tarasenko might have thought he had a little bit more time than that.
And a shot by Tarasenko, tipped high. Schwartz is after it along with Jackman. Now Jaden Schwartz out high, Leopold, and he wrists that one off the glass. And the Canucks hook it high. And now to center, and a high stick will bring about the whistle, and the face-off back to the right of Ryan Miller.
Yep, Zach Kassian knocked it over his shoulder, so that's the reason why that face-off will be to the right there. But when you've got a guy like Jaden Schwartz with 4 goals on 16 shots, you got to get fire in the puck. It's fine when things are going okay and you get time and space. You can make those cross-ice passes. But the Blues mentality here in this second period has got to be funnel as many shots as possible on Ryan Miller. You fire him off the far pad, you drive hard to the net, you simplify the attack a little bit more.
Darren, I think you have to simplify your game everywhere when you have basically half your club ill.
No question about that. Remember before the game, Ken Hitchcock said there's going to be a plan A, and then there's going to be a plan B if plan A doesn't work in the first period. I think plan B's got to be in effect here.
Blues win the face-off with Tara. And his pass down low is intercepted now by Tanev. Ian Cole trying to hold it in. Schwartz for Tarasenko. And then back to the corner. Cole in again for the point. And the Canucks lob it high and out of danger. Shattenkirk, the first man back for the Blues, as both clubs make changes.
Yeah, and 2 forwards just made a change, Backes and Steen, so that spreads up the ice a little bit.
Here's Steen, a shot. That hit Bieksa, now goes to the corner. Backes for Oshie. At the line, kept in by Leopold. To his partner, Jackman. And a shot on goal, and a save by Miller with the right pad.
Just a matter of time with these pucks going to the net that rebound's going to be lying there. The Blues just have to capitalize on these opportunities.
Now Jackman again. Quickly across to Leopold. And then Oshie juggles one at the point.
Now this puck is fluttering all over. It's not staying flat at all.
And now Backes, 2 Canucks around him. And Vancouver with it, and Lyndon Bay gets it out. Now for Dorsett. The longtime Blue Jacket spins it around the wall. There's Dorsett, puck in front, and cleaned up by Leopold.
Hey, he needs a little bit of help down there in the corner.
And he gets some from Oshie and Jackman rather. And now Barrett Jackman, a backhand feed to center ice. So as you said, Darren, the Blues have mixed up the lines here. Steen is now back with Oshie and Backes. And Ott out here again now with Lapierre. This is broken up, and now Henrik Sedin. Down the wing for Vrbata. Chopped away by Leopold. And now Leopold takes cover. Hands one to Jackman. Trying to work it by the skates of Vrbata. He can't do it. And now Vrbata back on the line. Long shot by Weber, nowhere near the goal. And then a big hit by Ott against Spiza. The puck comes to center ice.
Ott's the kind of guy that can get things triggered up a little bit, get that emotion in the game going with that physicality.
Now Max Lapierre, the former Canuck, chopped one to center ice. And that's gloved down by Lindstrom. He'll throw it high to the corner. He goes after it.
Yeah, the all-Swede line is back in play right here.
Here's Payarby. They had a lot of chances the other night in Anaheim in that 3-0 loss. Here are the Canucks up the ice. Intended for Burrows. That goes wide. And then Pietrangelo now for Bouwmeester. Long stretch pass to Lindstrom. Pressured at the line by Tanev. And now the Blues reload at their own line. Pietrangelo for Payarby. And Edler gets it back for Vancouver. That's center ice. Number 13, Nick Bonino. The former Duck traded for Kessler. Here's Bouwmeester.
Good buddy.
Chased by Bonino.
Good buddy of Kevin Shattenkirk's. BU champs together.
Tanev at his own line. Through the middle of the ice. Recovered by Kassian, who whipped one in behind the Blues goal. Shots in this period. 4-1 for the Blues. So some more life for the home team here. Down by 1. That's off Hamhuis. Now Hamhuis gets it.
And because of the lack of turnovers in the second, they're able to get a flow with the line changes, John. A little bit more tempo going on right here, but they got caught behind because of so many turnovers to begin the first period.
And now it is Bieksa to hold it in for Kassian. Worked over by Cole. In the slot. Too far for Richardson. It goes all the way down the ice. Jaden Schwartz in a foot race. And he goes tumbling down. The Canucks played up the boards. Ian Cole trying to pinch in. And it's off the glass and out.
That was a good pinch there by Cole.
Now Ryan Reeves into the zone. Mathias gets it back to center. Cole with it. Quickly across for Ott. He steps in on Hamhuis. Now Ott. 3 Canucks around him. Good job to keep it in the corner. Now gets some support there for Lapierre. Canucks playing around to Bieksa. Nearly 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Look out here, Leopold check. But the play is offside or a hand pass. And that's a break there for the Blues. Still 1-0 Vancouver.
Well, fine details in the game with too many men on the ice. And the player that jumps off, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is right there. But keep your eye on the player coming out. Now, that's Dorsett. Stop it here. He plays the puck. He has not yet gone off the ice. And that's Sean Matthias. Matthias was actually stuck because the linesman was there, but he was slow getting off. He had both skates on the ice while Dorsett played the puck. Too many men on the ice.
And the Blues' third power play. Shattenkirk for Steen. Up front, Schwartz, Backes, and Tarasenko. Now Tarasenko settles it. Back to Shattenkirk. Across for Steen. Pass in front, Tarasenko. A shot. That's blocked by Tanev. Comes in front. He had a wide open goal. I think Tanev blocked it. Now Schwartz back of the goal. Pushed down by Edler. And then Backes helps out. Edler trying to emerge from traffic. Slowed up by Schwartz. And Edler pushed down by Schwartz. And the Blues gain possession. Tarasenko for Backes.
Nice play by Tarasenko. They're real strong on the puck.
Now for Steen out high. Here's Backes across to Shattenkirk. Chance. He scores! Kevin Shattenkirk!
What a play by Tarasenko behind the net. It looked like Edler was going to get the puck out of the zone, but instead Tarasenko and Schwartz, they hunt it down, and they stay strong on it. Now they're able to spread out the D by going back wide to Backes, who plays it out to the point. Now it spreads out. Nice pass by Steen back to Backes. Over here to Shattenkirk, who rifles it high over the blocker side, short side, stick side, blocker side on Ryan Miller.
That was a blast. His first of the year, first goal in 8 games going back to last year. And a power play goal ties the game at 1. Now Pietrangelo for Oshie. And his shot hit a Canuck and goes to the corner. Shots are now 5-1 for the Blues here in the second period. And they've even the score at 1. Backes and Steen get the assist from the goal. Here's Pietrangelo, lost the handle. And the Blues have to regroup at center ice. Oshie hooks one to Berglund. What a play there. And now the big Swede Berglund with it. Gets around Henrik Sedin, but gives it up. And Weber for Vancouver. That pass tipped along by Vrbata. Bouwmeester to center ice. Now Vrbata worked over by Berglund. Spiza from center. On goal, Allen makes the save. Again, the goal by the Blues. Shattenkirk from Backes at Steen, and Steen at 7:38. And this rolls back in the zone. Look out. Jake Allen under the goal. And he got there ahead of the speedy Hansen. Jackman off the glass.
Tough line change, John, in that second period. That's where the most amount of goals percentage-wise are scored in the NHL, with that long change.
Blues have now outscored the opponents 5-1 in second periods this year. Here's Jackman down the boards. Ott. 2 Canucks around him, and Bay gets it. And he feeds one of the Blues line. Leopold there, tips it. Now Bay comes in again. And a shot. Blocked and on goal. And Allen make the save. As that second shot was tipped by Dorsett.
Got to watch Lyndon Bay. He's got some good speed there as Dorsett and Lapierre stir things up after that. But in the meantime, our Mazda drive to the net. As we take a look at this collision right here, and then support by Tarasenko. Let it roll here. That's Schwartz on Edler. Edler thought he had that puck. He was able to at least clear it. Good firm play by Tarasenko over to Backes. Now it's all spread out. And the Mazda drive to the net will come on the right side of your screen. That's Shattenkirk. And what a wicked wrister that is. Going high to the blocker side on the short side.
And nice sign there from a Blues fan. Very nice.
Not too shabby.
I like that. His first of the year. Now it is Jaden Schwartz working on Tanev. Drops it, Laterra. Another drop pass. And the Canucks have numbers, and now a break for Higgins. Clear-cut breakaway. And a shot, and now Allen made the save with his glove. On a Higgins breakaway. Now Burrow's in front of shot. And that's blocked by Cole. Higgins again a drive. Blocker saved by Allen. And the rebound is flipped out of play by Schwartz, and he'll go for delay of game.
delay of game penalty. Puck was on end, and Schwartz fires it over the glass. But you talk about a momentum builder. You score a goal to make it 1-1, and the momentum builder is the save on Higgins, who's got the only goal of the game for the Vancouver Canucks. And Bonino does a good job of stripping the puck. The Blues get caught up the ice, puck watching right there. One quick play, Higgins tries to go to the glove side, and Jake Allen gets the cuff of his glove on it. There's no question that the Canucks are trying to zero in on the glove of Jake Allen.
Vancouver's first power play of the evening. On the year, 4 for 23, 17%. They work it back, and a drive by Edler, and that hit the glass and goes out of play, and we'll get a face-off in the Blues zone.
And that Edler can fire the puck. There's no question about that. And if that shot glanced off the post, and it still stays inside. And you see the whip of the shaft of the stick there. Wow, what a blast that was by Edler. Right off the bar and out of play.
Now the Canucks win the face-off. And back for Edler, wrist shot. Hit a body in front, and the Blues get it. And tip it back to center ice. Here's Edler now for Henrik Sedin. Moved in by Daniel, now for Vrbata. And then Vrbata again out high. Good stick there by David Backes. He stole it from Vrbata, who played last year in Phoenix. And the Blues clear it down the ice.
And Vrbata had a number of teams on July 1 that wanted his services, and he just waited it out, made sure that he was going to play with the proper teammates, the guys that thought the game the way he did. So he signed that deal with Vancouver, knowing that he'd get a chance to play with the Sedin twins.
Pretty good decision to play with those guys. Had 20 goals last year in Phoenix.
He had a lot of good teams pursuing his services.
Now a minute to go in the Schwartz minor. Vancouver to center. And it is Bonino. He rocks right in. A shot. Allen got his arm on that, I believe. And maybe the crossbar again, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, Nick Bonino, the left-hander, trying to go high to the glove side again. And this is a recurring theme that we're seeing tonight with Vancouver. You see the short side. He's got Burrows behind him, but by this time, Bonino's thinking high glove all the way. And you see the positioning of the goaltender's glove. And there's not much room there. It's about trusting the fact that you've got the percentages covered for Jake Allen, and he did.
So 2 crossbars on this power play for Vancouver. The score now 1-1. Higgins early in the first, and Shattenkirk a power play goal here in the second. Hamhuis a feed off the skate of Higgins. Allen wanders, puts it on the glass, cut off by Burrows. Now for Bieksa, and then played back to Hamhuis. And he walks the line. And then to Burrows, through a seam, it comes across for Bonino, who slows it down. Tipped in front, off Allen's pad, and collected by Pietrangelo when he clears it off the boards and down. And both clubs make changes here. 7 to go in the Schwartz minor. Now pass ahead for Bieksa. And the long-time Canuck. He'll chip and chase it. Gets it back to the goal for Kassian. Schwartz is back. Vancouver had 1 shot on goal and 2 crossbars. And now Steen, 3-on-2 break here. Steen with Schwartz and Backes. Steen in front. And he's driven down by Bieksa. Couldn't get a shot on goal.
No, maybe trying to feather that in there, just a little too cute there. There's a chance to just fire that with 2 Blues players driving hard to the net.
Now it is Bieksa. He is eyed by Oshie. Nice pass ahead to Kassian. Then the former Sabre in on his off wing. In the slot, picked off by Laterra. And here come the Blues. The Canucks had too many men again. And they got away with it. Here's Oshie now. Into Tarasenko. And Miller got across and made a pad save. His best chance tonight.
What a pass. What a brilliant pass by TJ Oshie.
And they're going to get him for too many men. The linesman, I believe, made this call. It was well behind the play.
You called it, John.
They had 6 on the ice. A power play goal has tied it here in the second. Blues on a power play again as the Canucks get nailed for too many men on the ice. And Burrows were serving. It was called by the linesman well behind the play. Steve Miller right in front of the Vancouver bench. So the Blues 1 for 3 on the power play in a 1-1 game. And Shattenkirk, who has scored the Blues goal, hooks it back for Tarasenko. Now worked in for Steen. Blues set up shop on the power play for Schwartz. And a drive that goes high off the glass. And then Backes chopped one back to the corner. Dorsett there for Vancouver. And he pounds it down the ice. And now it is Steen again for the Blues. Shots this period 6-6 and dead even at 14 for the night. Shattenkirk to the red line. Played to Berglund, and now down low. Shattenkirk stops to make a play, and lost it to Daniel Sedin now for Henrik. And the Canuck captain into the zone. Here's Daniel short-handed, and a shot on goal, and Allen forced to make a good pad save.
And then Henrik Sedin trying to have a reverse hit on Tarasenko, and both went down.
Now it's Jori Lehtera. Now the Finn gets in there for Berglund. Back of the goal, Hamhuis with it. And with some time, he puts it high to center and all the way down the ice. Allen feeds Pietrangelo. Now 40 seconds to go on the power play. Lehtera dumps it in. Oshie goes in after it. He pounds Hamhuis. Oshie trying to get it free. He does to Bouwmeester. To his partner, Pietrangelo. Now Bouwmeester down the board for Oshie. Berglund screens in front. Here's Bouwmeester. The drive. That goes wide. Rebound. And it bounced on Lehtera with an open side. And the Canucks come up with it and fire it down the ice.
No, he just whiffed on it on the backhander. He's rolling and on in. He had a little opportunity. There was a little area there on the short side.
Now it is Tanev back in behind his own goal. Burrows is now back. And the Blues do not register a shot on the power play. Here's Ott. Nice pass. Lapierre right in. And a great save there by Miller on the former Canuck Lapierre.
Lapierre had a good couple of days of practice, too. We were really working on his shot, scoring a lot, had a lot of confidence. That was a golden opportunity.
There's Ryan Reeves. Gets some help there from Lapierre. Reeves now on the far side. Under 5 to play in the second period. And then Derek Jackman pinches. Lapierre hooks it in front. Reeves is there. A shot. And then Leopold came in and couldn't get it on goal.
Spinorama there by Lapierre going to his backhand. He's good on his backhand.
And again, Jackman pinches. And again, the Blues come up with the puck. Now Jackman back for Ott. Wide open to the other side to Leopold. And a wrist shot. And that was blocked. And the Canucks play it off the glass and out.
But that's not an example of meat and potatoes doing some good work right there. Wonderful shift by the fourth line of the Blues, along with Jackman and Leopold at the point.
Now Jackman gets his stick between a Canuck player's legs. That was Dorsett. He goes down. And now it comes free. Hansen hooks one into the Blue zone. And Allen tees it up.
And the Canucks already with too many men on the ice penalties. You know that they'll be a little bit more conservative with that change.
Last year they had 7 too many men penalties, 3 this year. Now the puck off the inboards comes in front.
Good play by Jackman.
Scooped up by Leopold. And out of center ice for Steen. Broke it up. And the Canucks backhand, but it's an offside. With 3:44 to go in the second period. Higgins for the Canucks and Shattenkirk for the Blues.
A flurry of activity and a good shot from the short side leads us to our JimButlerChevrolet.com powerhouse plays. The tempo's been picked up. The Blues playing a much more of a north-south game here in the second period. And boy, that last shift was a dynamic shift by the fourth line. But look at the sprawling save there by Tanev, by Ryan Miller, by Vancouver in front of the net. And the Blues are doing a better job of getting pucks in, including that goal by Shattenkirk to tie the game up at 1-1. That was on the power play.
Now 3:40 left, second period. It is Lehtera, Schwartz, and Tarasenko for the Blues. Spiza scoops it around the glass. And then Burrows there for Vancouver. Can't clear it. Lehtera now for Schwartz. Chopped at by Weber. And then Tarasenko jams it back of the goal. Picked up by number 13, Bonino. And off a stick and out. And now the Blues back at their own line. Pietrangelo. And he does get the puck to center ice. Fired back in by Spiza. As the Canucks make a change on the go. Now Bouwmeester, long stretch pass. Picked off, look out, here comes Bieksa. He works in a shot. That was blocked off the goalpost. Hit the arm and then the goalpost. And then it came right in front. So 2 crossbars and a goalpost here. Now it's centered and taken care of by Berglund. So Jake Allen has the post working for him in this second period.
Yeah, Bieksa has that puck on end, and that's a tough one for a goalie to read where it's going to go. But make no mistake, another one going to the glove side. And Jake Allen fights it off just enough.
And now it's trickled back in. Pietrangelo with 2:25 to go in the period for Bouwmeester. And then poked in by Berglund. As the Swedes are back on the ice. Berglund, Pajärvi, and Lindstrom. Given up, Berglund and a backhander. And Millie, 2 saves on Berglund. And he covers.
That's a quick little backhander by Berglund, trying to get that high over the glove on the backhander. And a good save there by Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller's always been a real strong positional goaltender. And here on the turnover, he gets himself set up, he gets squared quickly, and the puck just lies there between his legs. You can see after he makes the save, there the rebound comes in, and it hits the inside of his right pad and then stays underneath him. Here's the shot by Bieksa. Puck is rolling off the shoulder, off the bar, and out of play. Wonderful position again, though, by Jake Allen.
And now Steen digs in on the faceoff. Comes back for Cole. And a backhand flip.
And John, if Jake Allen's deeper in that net by another 2 feet, it goes in the net. But by being where he was at, that was enough for it to go off his shoulder in the post.
Now feathered in by Vrbata. Here's Cole back to get it. That comes around. Spiza pinches. And now it's Oshie in the corner. Can't work it out. The Sedin's on here with Vrbata. Puck in front. And Shattenkirk on his horse to center ice. He has scored the Blues goal. And 10 goals last year to Shattenkirk. Turned over. Now the Canucks commit. Daniel for Vrbata. Fires it. And a blocker save by Allen and no rebound.
Another good save. The Radim Vrbata going against the grain to the stick side on that one right there, but no room. As we take a look at our Plaza Tire Service even strength shot comparison. The Canucks now with 23 total attempts. The Blues with 29. They're picking it up. 14 shots, 8 missed, and 7 attempts have been blocked. But that last one was a turnover the Blues cannot afford to have, or any other team. You got players in numbers going down the left side, and Shattenkirk's trying to layer it softly over to David Backes, and there's no play there.
Now 80 seconds left in the period. And Bouwmeester ahead for Lapierre.
Lapierre must have thought that Bieksa was pinching on him there. Bieksa bailed off the line. Lappy had a lot of time.
Now it goes back in behind the Blues cage. Allen, he'll rim it around. Ott tips it, and the puck trickles to center ice. Here's Hanius ahead for Hansen. Hansen works in, and that shot partially blocked, and then played by Allen. Good play to center ice in the final minute now. And that's a delayed offside. And the Blues have to tag up. Long feed for Dorsett. Off his stick. Now it's Bay with it for Vancouver to Dorsett. Trying to get to the front. He's denied by Bouwmeester. And then picked up by Jackman. Oh, a giveaway there. Edler with it. Here's a shot on goal by Higgins, and a save by Allen with the glove. Well, it's time to bring the family to a Blues game. Next Thursday, October 30th, the Blues take on the Ducks. It's McDonald's Family Night at Scottrade. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 2 popcorns, plus 4 Big Mac coupons, all for $99.
Holy jumping. Do you get the wig too?
I don't think so. For tickets, go to stlouisblues.com/tickets. That is optional.
That's a good deal.
Very good deal. Now it is Oshie.
Duck and dogs.
There you go. Here's Steen. Centers it. Canucks in the right spot, and Burrows to center ice with 15 to go in the period. Funneled in by Higgins. Edler off the goal stick of Allen, and that comes to center ice. And now Tanev for Edler. Back in, and that will do it. So a much better second period for the Blues. And they come back to tie the game on the power play goal by Kevin Shattenkirk.
Well, the power play has given them the momentum they need. They still have to clean things up at even strength, but this should be a heck of a third period.
Indeed it will be, my friend. Let's go to Pat and Bernie across Scottrade.
John Kelly, thank you very much. Bernie, that's a little bit better period. The more like we expected from the Blues tonight.
Yes, the Blues simplified everything. They started to get the pucks north and south, as we keep saying. No more fancy little saucer passes, but direct passes. And yes, they got the momentum going. They scored a big power play goal. And yes, the momentum's on their side, but they got to be careful with the turnovers again, because we saw a couple late in that period. But so far, so good through 2 periods.
Time now to look at the stats through 2 periods of play, brought to you by Acura, and the stats show that not only just a 1-1 game, but pretty even across the board, Bernie.
Yeah, it has been. And you know what? The goaltending has been both ends has been very good. You can see the scoring chances, an awful lot of scoring chances because of turnovers on both teams. We expected this to be a close game, and I think we're not getting disappointed, Pat.
The Jack of the Box intermission report is coming up next. You're watching Blues hockey on Fox Sports Midwest. It's a 1-1 hockey game after 40 minutes of play, thanks to the Kevin Shattenkirk power play goal.
And we welcome you back inside Scott Trade, 1-1, ready for the 3rd period.
That's walking down the aisle there, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. Second time this year the Blues have been tied after 2. They lost in LA in a shootout when they were 0-0. And this marks the first time the Canucks enter the 3rd period on even terms. Verbata now ahead for Edler. In for Daniel Sedin. That floats wide of the goal. And then Verbata, a former late-round draft choice by the Colorado Avalanche. 7th round in 2009. Now the puck back on the line. Long shot. Got on goal. And that was a good stop there by Allen.
I had a good view from that. Tanev makes a real smart shot there. Really smart. Just laid the puck flat, played it just off to the side. He knew he couldn't go right at the net because there was no angle, because Steen's there in the shooting lane. This is just off to the side, looking for that quick little redirection. The silky hands of Henrik Sedin, and a better save there by Allen with his stick on the ice.
Well, the Canucks from the face-off. Here it comes Bieksa. Moves in a shot. That was blocked by Shattenkirk. Comes in front again. In the area of Higgins, who has 6 shots on goal tonight to lead all players. Now a shot blocked.
Right away, Vancouver's mentality right away is get that puck on net.
Wide open. Laterra on the drive, and he put that one wide. Oh, Laterra stepped into one on left wing.
Puck rolled right at the last second. They never laid flat for him.
And now the Canucks the other way. Hand use. Steered off the puck by Jaden Schwartz. Good job there. And it comes back to the neutral zone. Handed right to Ian Cole. And now Cole ahead for Tarasenko. He'll tip one deep into the Vancouver zone. Spiza comes around now for Kassian. That pass picked off by Berglund. Good job there for Payarvi to drive, and a save by Miller on the short side. And now Spiza worked over by Berglund. And Berglund gets it back to the line of Jackman. And he was checked there by Sean Mathias. And then Jackman steers it back for Leopold. Now ahead to Lindstrom, who has it near the line but not out. And then Jackman swaps it around to the far side for Ott. And now Ott to center ice. Lindstrom, he'll play it back to Berglund, late on his shift. Steve Ott stashes one in the corner. Tanev gives it up. Here's Reeves with it for the Blues. Now Reeves for Ott. And then the former Canuck Lapierre to the back for Bouwmeester. Then a shot. Pinballs around, goes well wide. Here's Pietrangelo. He'll race in, takes a hit. Now for Ott, back of the goal, in front. Steered wide. And then Lapierre on the reverse. Ott battles with Bay. And then a hit there by Lapierre. Yannick Hansen, nowhere to go with that one. On another big hit. He's cracking bang down low here. Reeves ties it away for the pack. And then Reeves had his pocket picked there by Yannick Hansen. And the Canucks to center ice 3-on-2. Hansen to Bay. Drop pass. And the shot. Blocked. Comes back in front. And back is there. And he'll take the icing call.
Oh, great shot block there by Ryan Reeves. That's a classical two-pad slide right there by the big fella. A little desperation deep in the zone after a nice play by Lyndon Bay, buying some time, and there's the read there, right off the side of the body. In the meantime, on this side of the ice, you can see how wide open Laterra is. Let this one roll, but the puck is rolling at the last second. He had time maybe to settle it down, but maybe he is anticipating it was going to, but you can see the puck, and then it gets cupped on his blade, and it's fired wide to the glove side. A golden opportunity early in the third.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Shattenkirk, right on the tape of Laterra. Now Ott will take it against Henrik Sedin. 3:10 gone, third period. And Ott wins the faceoff. The Blues, as a team, have won 65% tonight. And another icing call. And we get a whistle. FoxSportsMidwest.com is your home for Blues coverage all season long. Log on for game coverage, videos, features, and the latest analysis from Blues reporter Luke Thompson. It's all on FoxSportsMidwest.com. And now Henrik Sedin digs in against Backes. And Backes wins it cleanly. The Blues had their worst face-off game of the year the other night, winning only 37% in Anaheim, but much better tonight, Darren.
And we would like to wish a speedy recovery. We've got Paul Rohde and his dad, Charles. They're at Mercy Hospital right now, John Kelly. And Charles is a decorated World War II vet, and he's in the hospital getting well. The speedy recovery to you, Charles, and to you, Paul. You're with your dad. Let's get you a Blues win tonight.
Absolutely. Make everybody feel better. Another face-off to the left of Allen. Canucks get it back to Bieksa. The shot blocked by Reeves. And then he gets Bieksa two-hander for good measure.
That's why you wear shin pads. That's not going to hurt anybody.
Now Bieksa gets the puck out. Backes for Shattenkirk down the wing. Here comes Steen. He goes wide. And Hamhuis got over and made a good defensive play at the last second. Steen looked like he had a half a step on Hamhuis.
Good quick pass, though, by Shattenkirk. That's a good turn-up play there.
Now it comes to Bieksa. His pass picked off by Oshie. Feeds it in front. No one is home. And Hamhuis gets it off the boards to center ice. And then banged back in by Cole as the Blues make a change on the fly. Here come the Canucks. Spiza. And off the boards and in. Shattenkirk reverses. Nice reverse there for Jaden Schwartz. And here he comes up the middle. Schwartz now for Tarasenko. Drops it. Laterra to the front. Off the pad of Miller. And now Burrows back the other way. That pass too far for Higgins. And Leopold plays it back for Jackman.
A good play by Leopold just to buy a little bit more time for his partner there.
Tarasenko on his knees, gets up. Now in front. Laterra. Oh, what a save by Miller on Laterra. Highway robbery there. The best chance of the night. And Laterra was robbed. Now Bonino comes in. He scores! Nick Bonino, 2-1 Vancouver.
An outstanding stave at one end. How many times have we seen this in the game of hockey? Ryan Miller comes up with a great save with his left pad off a nice little pass from Tarasenko to Laterra. And then at the other end of the ice, as the Blues are trying to get back, here's the save right here with the left pad stretching as far as Ryan Miller could stretch. And then it's an odd man break. And Nick Bonino is going low stick the whole time. And this is a perfect shot. He's looking off Weber. He's looking off Burrows, and he just snaps it home to the stick side inside the post and in.
Second of the year. First in 4 games. It's 2-1 Vancouver. The goal at 4:54. Talk about a big swing in momentum and a big swing in the scoreboard. And the Blues nailed for icing here. The goal at 4:54. Burrows and Higgins get the assists.
Well, Laterra's had a number of golden opportunities here. I mean, this is a guy that's playing his first year in the NHL and battling a bad bug, a bad virus that's just sucked the life out of this hockey club. And he's had a number of glorious scoring chances. But that was just an exceptional save there by Miller with his pad.
And now from the face-off, it's Magnus Paajarvi trying to go wide on Tanev. And then Paajarvi jams it back on the goal for Lindstrom, broken up. And the Canucks in Mathias up the middle now for Kassian. He'll chip it by Bouwmeester. And then Patrick Berglund for the Blues. For Joakim Lindstrom. And now to center, Berglund trying to get away from his man. Petrangelo in there as well. Here's a shot off the crossbar by Berglund. And then into the netting. What is it about the net at that end here? And that's the third crossbar off that goal.
The bars are fatter down there. Berglund does a powerful job of gaining the line, bringing it back into his feet, and that changes the angle a little bit. So a goaltender's going to cheat back towards his body with the blocker side. And did it glance off something first? Yes, it did, and then off the bar, over the shoulder. They've obviously beat Ryan Miller on the blocker side with Kevin Shattenkirk's goal at 7:38 of the second period. A right-hand shot going high against the grain. Not much room there for Berglund at all.
But Miller did get his right shoulder on, then off the crossbar. Blues dump it back in. Played around by Weber. And now out of play. And that's off of Blues players, so they will bring the face-off to center ice. And now the Blues a late change here.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The referee giving Ken Hitchcock lots of time and lots of respect right there. He's got last change, and I was thinking about that. He kept the fourth line on there for that face-off and made that quick change. Goes to Laterra. Laterra, just a matter of time for Laterra to score one in this game.
And now the Canucks play it down the ice. And an icing call.
And the Vancouver Canucks felt like they touched that on the other side of the red line at center ice. Linesmen stay with the call. If this is a good break here for the Blues.
Laterra has 5 scoring chances tonight, Darren. And, of course, his last game was in Arizona, had 3 points. Face-off 1, shot by Tarasenko, and Miller made the save.
Even as he's falling down to get something on that.
And Weber up the boards and out. Here's Bouwmeester now off a skate right to Pietrangelo. 6:20 gone in the third. Vancouver in the lead by 1. On the wing, Schwartz, a drive, and Miller, I think, got his stick up, made the save. Down to the corner, Tanev, his pass, diving play by Tarasenko.
Great effort.
Comes in front, and now knocked to the corner. What an effort indeed there by Tarasenko.
That's a little slew foot there by Spiza, and I think he got called on it.
He did. Now Bouwmeester in front, Tarasenko, and he shot it wide. Fanned on the shot, and now the Blues will go on the power play. All set up because of a great hold-in by Tarasenko.
Almost midway through the third period. And Tarasenko, a brilliant effort in keeping that puck in. And because of that, there's that trip up there. Distributing his left leg in the air with a little bit of a slew foot trip there by Spiza. What a shift by Tarasenko. Laid it on the line, and now he's back out after that commercial break.
And Spiza's gone for tripping. The Blues 1 for 4 on the power play. Schwartz right in. And saved by Miller right off the faceoff. And the Canucks fire it down the ice. Shattenkirk and Steen, the point men up front. Backus, Schwartz, and Tarasenko.
Well, last year the Blues scored over 15 goals 10 seconds after a faceoff in the offensive zone on the power play. It was a remarkable run early in the year for that, and we just nearly had one there.
Now Tarasenko gets it back, and in on goal. And he tried to make one too many moves, and the Canucks break it up.
But there's some magic going on. Again, Schwartz and Tarasenko.
Now it is Steen with 35 gone in the power play. In for Shattenkirk. He has scored the Blues goal. Pass in front. Oshie down to the near side for Lindstrom. And he's forced out high. Hooks one back to the corner now for Oshie. Oshie tips one to Berglund. To the outside again. Back to Shattenkirk. A shot. Tipped high, I think, by Oshie. Rattle around behind the goal. Now around to Lindstrom. Blues set up in the power play. Lindstrom for Berglund. And a good stick there to break it up by Bonino. Now the Blues have to recover at center ice. Here they come. Oshie back into the zone. And Berglund breaking down the middle. Picked up. Lindstrom with it. And the shot blocked. That was Tanev who blocked the drive. Now back to the top to Steen. Steen and Lindstrom play catch. Now for Pietrangelo. 30 left in the power play. Tipped in front. Oh, and then Steen just missed it, and it comes to center ice.
Well, great little tic-tac-toe give-and-go play there by TJ Oshie, and the frustration continues there.
And now the Blues come in. Pietrangelo rings it around the inboards. Schwartz lets it go. Now in front. Here's Bouwmeester with it. Down low. And then the Blues get it back. Lindstrom to Bouwmeester. And around for Pietrangelo. Here's Bouwmeester again. Tarasenko in on goal, and a a save by Miller with his arm.
3 power play units getting a crack at this one power play. Good save there at the end by Miller, staying up and being aggressive, not going down early here on Tarasenko on the left side of the ice. Bouwmeester with a fake shot. Now, pretty simple play right there, but on this angle here, you see he fires that from the heel of his blade to the middle of the blade and trying to go high again on the blocker's side, but Ryan Miller's in real good position there. Another game with 4 shots by Tarasenko. Every single game so far this year, and he's missed the net on a couple of chances.
The Blues 2 shots in the power play. A shot by Bouwmeester. And it was going wide. Miller gloves it. And we get a face-off. We've all got friends in low places, and as hockey fans, we love it when the Thunder rolls. And we'll roll here at Scott Trade on December 5th and 6th as Garth Brooks comes to St. Louis for 2 great shows. Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. only through Ticketmaster. Quick shot by Ott on goal and a save by Miller. Now Ott in front, Lapierre on goal. And a stick save again. Now Reeves for Bouwmeester to Pietrangelo. Deep slot, Lapierre shot. That was stopped in front by Spies, and the Canucks have numbers the other way. Here comes Hansen, 2-on-1 to Bay. In on goal, and shot wide. On a 2-on-1. And Reeves back to center ice. Hamhuis gets it back for Vancouver. Now for Dorsett. He'll drop it off for Bay. And steered around behind the goal, and now it's Cole. To Lapierre for Shattenkirk. Has some room at center ice. Shattenkirk thinking offense here. And a shot. Oh, rebound. She is robbed by Miller. Off the top of the goal. Clear to the far side. Oshie can't buy a goal. Now Shattenkirk again. Gets some help down there for Backes. Then his pass. Held in by Cole. Quickly on to Steen. Now for Cole again. Shattenkirk in front. Off a skate wide. And then played in the back. Backes works over Bieksa. And now Oshie in there. Against Bay. Oshie to the point. Now for Cole. Fires up. And a class save by Miller. Oshie again. Pressure by the Blues. Shattenkirk for Cole. And his drive is blocked. Dorsett got in the way. And a good job by the veteran Dorsett.
All right, Oshie's making a lot of real smart little plays. Keep plays alive.
Here's Oshie up the middle. And 2 Canucks collapse on him. Held in by the Blues. Steen. Back to Leopold. Now Leopold to drive. That was blocked. Spin around by Leopold in front. And the Canucks don't smother it. And now finally worked out of the zone by Tanev. Then back down the ice. Jackman floats it back to the Vancouver line. Under 9 to play here in the third. Blues break it up. Here they come again. Laterra for Schwartz. Laterra gets it back. And a shot blocked by Edler. And now Edler spins off the check. And the big screen to center ice for Kassian. Shots in this period 10-2 for the Blues, but they trailed 2-1. Here's Henrik Sedin. And the Blues working on to center ice. Henrik is wrapped up by Berglund. And a penalty call. I think it's on the Blues. And a holding minor.
It's going to be on Berglund.
And the Canucks up by 1. Go to a power play. Man, are they on fire, Pat Paris. Thank you very much. Canucks on a power play. Berglund gone for a holding at 11:36. Canucks 0 for 1 tonight, but leading 2-1. So a key kill here for the Blues. Edler gets it on the half boards now for Henrik Sedin. For twin brother Daniel to Henrik. They play catch back to the goal. Bay in front. He scores! Bay a power play goal. And it's 3-1.
Well, we haven't seen many teams use the back of the net like this group here. Linden Bay goes in the high slot, and then you've got Vrbata and Sedin down low. But the penalty before that, as Berglund gets caught right in front of me on the call, a slight little hold with the left hand, nothing much there. The referee makes the call, and it leads to this triangle offense, which is brilliantly played. A beautiful pass. Bay's got a good shot, a quick shot, and he rifles it right between the seam, right between the legs of the goaltender Jake Allen.
So they, the rookie, picked up in a trade from LA. Again, he played his junior hockey for Coach Willie Desjardins. And he gets his second career goal from Henrik Sedin and Verbata. And the Canucks lead by 2. And Darren, you used to see that years ago, teams set up behind the net on a power play. Of course, when Bernie Federko played, they did it all the time along with Gretzky. But you don't see that too often anymore.
No, you don't. But, you know, they had a play behind the net where they bought a little bit of time, and Daniel Sedin came in towards Verbata, but the play wasn't towards him, and it left Henrik Sedin over in the far corner. That spread everything out behind the goal line right off the hop on that power play.
Now Burrows tips it down the ice, and recovered by Bouwmeester. And then Schwartz, his feed blocked, and kept in by Higgins. This line of Higgins, Burrows, and Bonino has been real good tonight. Now Jaden Schwartz. For Pietrangelo. Under 7 to play. And the Blues trailing by 2.
And the shame of it all, too, is the momentum was there and the desperation, certainly for the Blues, was there just before that penalty. And there was going to be a line change. There was nothing happening on that call, whether you think it's a good call or a bad call. I mean, it ends up being a crucial call.
And now the Canucks have scored 2 goals on 3 shots here in this third period. Roosevelt shot them 10 to 3 in the third. Hansen in for Dorsett. And that goes back to the goal. Ian Cole there against Bay. Puck comes back now for Shattenkirk. He has scored the Blues goal. Off the stick of Verbata, or rather Payarvi, in on goal, and that's covered by Ryan Miller.
Well, Ryan Miller certainly made the save of the game in this one. In a 1-1 hockey game, he makes that great save on Laterra. And then, obviously, the Canucks come back the other way, and Bonino scores on the odd man break.
Now Backes on the face-off against Richardson. Backes wins it for Steen. A drive and a good glove save by Miller.
Good battle there by David Backes. Winning that face-off. You notice that he's not going up against Sedin. The Sedins generally take the offensive zone face-offs more so than the defensive zone face-offs. Last year was a change for them with John Tortorella as their coach.
And Backes wins another one. Pietrangelo, a shot blocked. Now it's recovered by Oshie. Back to the cage. Here's Steen in front. And a shot. And Miller made a good arm save on that one. And held in by Pietrangelo. Great keep in there. And then Backes scoops one back to the goal for Steen. Steen in front. Oshie trying to knock it down. It was up in the air and played away by Richardson. Here's Pietrangelo. Long stretch pass for Oshie. And everybody's changing, so all he can do is hook it into the zone. And Miller sets it up for Bieksa. With 5.5 to play in the third period. And Hamhuis along high dump in, knocked down by Daniel. Now for Henrik, in front through the legs to Daniel. Now for Bada, and Verbata shot it wide. Great pass there by that trio.
It's uncanny, isn't even the right word to describe it.
And Shattenkirk starts from his own end zone. And here he comes. Blues need to take some chances now, down by a pair.
And as soon as the puck goes into the defensive zone, Daniel Sedin hops off the ice for a change.
Now Laterra with it. Pass in front. Tarasenko cruising in. Couldn't get a shot on goal. And it's lobbed to center ice. Pietrangelo ahead. That was intended for Tarasenko, and an icing call against the Blues.
It was an inch away from Spiez's stick. I'm surprised that gets called an icing in that situation. Well, Tarasenko and Verbata are 2 players that get 4 or more shots per game. Tarasenko's at it again. Verbata's at it again.
And now Berglund against Bonino. Higgins, Bonino, and Vance scored for the Canucks. Shattenkirk for the Blues. And back to the top. And Weber broke his stick. The Blues take it. And here's Cole, a feed now in for Schwartz. Winds up and fires it. Handled easily by Miller. Comes around now for Bouwmeester. That shot blocked in front again. And Spiza gets it off the boards and out. And no icing here. And Bouwmeester for Berglund. Here's Pietrangelo. One down course that almost picked his pocket. Now he steals the puck. And a shot is wide. And then Berglund in on Hansen. And Berglund drops it off now for Pietrangelo. And then Bouwmeester back to center ice. Pietrangelo check there. Here's Dorsett coming in 2-on-2. Hansen in front. And that's tipped away by Payarvi. With 3:45 left. Payarvi trying to get his speed going here. He pulls up and a shot blocked. And then Edler fires it right up the middle and down the ice, and an icing call. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, full highlights and expert analysis from Thursday night's AFC showdown between the Chargers and Broncos. Insider reports from San Francisco as the World Series shift to the Bay, plus an exclusive one-on-one with Cleveland Cavaliers' new coach, David Blatt.
Yeah, you can't miss Fox Sports Live, John Kelly.
It is must-see TV as we get a timeout here.
To Ken Hitchcock. Shattenkirk was motioning for a timeout. Referee looked over at Hitchcock and then signaled timeout. So
you never know. They might pull the goalie here with the face-off deep in the Canuck zone. But just as I say that, Allen skates back into the Blues goal.
Well, Vancouver did that the other night and had a ton of chances on Lettinen trying to climb back in their loss in Dallas. It takes one. Get it to 3-2. Still lots of time on the clock. But the one thing you can't afford to do, John,
they're going to pull the goalie here, Darren.
I like the move. I like it a lot. Offensive zone face-off. You got a lot of crafty players on the ice. Now they've got to know that every loose puck is such a battle. You can't take anything for granted. Got to have two men on the puck at all times here and win those loose puck battles.
It is back as Steen, Oshie, Tarasenko, Pietrangelo, and Shattenkirk. Blues get it back. 6 attackers here, down by 2. Shattenkirk a shot. Blocked by a Canuck in front. Tarasenko wins the battle there against Bay. And now Oshie trying to get it away from Edler. 3 Blues on the puck. It goes to Backes. Far side, Shattenkirk. And then back to Backes. Here's Tarasenko again. Ducks under a check. Now in front, no one is there. Backes a pass. Block, empty net shot, and that's going to go right in the net. Hansen, the empty net goal.
Middle of the net. Blues had numbers out there, but that little pass to the middle where that's usually an outlet, it gets picked right off. Hansen's right there, and this is dead center, middle of the net. On the long one with a 2-goal lead, you can afford to just fire it down there, even if it's going to be icing. But Backes makes a backhand play first, and then a forehand play, thinking he's getting it back to Pietrangelo, but Pietrangelo's not wide open. Maybe if it gets banked off the boards in that play, it's an angle that Hansen can't defend against, but this goes down as a disappointing loss here to Vancouver.
And that makes it 4-1. Hansen's second of the season at 16:59. And Jake Allen is back in goal. The goal is unassisted. And the Canucks throw it back to the goal. Richardson pinned there by Jackman. And now Sean Mathias. He'll keep it in there. Around for Richardson. Canucks have scored on their last 3 shots on goal. And 3 goals on 4 shots in this period. Of course, the last one into the empty net. And ironically, this might have been the Blues' best period of the night.
Well, you're right about that.
Offensive chances,
there's no question. And it definitely, a couple of elements in this third period that turned things around. The one, certainly the save on Laterra. And then the other one was the minor penalty on Berglund that leads to a power play goal. And the Blues are fighting and scrapping and clawing and getting some chances.
Now it is a shot by Lindstrom and a blocker save by Ryan Miller. Here's Berglund with 1:45 left. Bouwmeester across for Pietrangelo. He works in, and a save by Miller right in the breadbasket, and no further action.
Well, let's go back to the first period here for our Nissan, call it, check of the game. And you can see that stick in the neutral zone, little stick check right there. Puck gets turned over, burrows in, first shot. No one covers Higgins, who's been a real effective player for the Canucks in this game.
One of many odd man rushes the Blues have given up tonight. Now it is Schwartz. And his pass blocked.
I think, too, the lessons being learned here is the type of team the Blues are going to be successful. And, you know, definitely one of the things that you can't do against any kind of team. But you can't be starting the game by coughing pucks up and getting too cute in the neutral zone. It just doesn't work. And it didn't work tonight to start the game. Especially with a team that's sick and out of energy. You can't play catch-up.
1 minute to play in the third period.
1 minute left here in the third period. And it's off Schwartz. Now back into the blue zone. The Blackhawks here on Saturday night. We'll have it for you starting at 6:30 with Blues Live. And now we get a whistle.
With 45 seconds left in this hockey game, we go to our Plaza Tire Service even strength shot comparison as we take a look at 11 attempts have been blocked by Vancouver against the Blues. They've been getting in the shooting lane, so 48 total attempts at even strength. Really didn't start, though, John, till that second period.
Now 35 to go in this third period. As Steen gets it in. The Blues are going to fall to 2-3-1. Vancouver will win their fourth of the year and go to 4-2. Jackson chops one back of the goal. And now taken by Richardson. And then Cassian plays it back to Hamhuis. Now Mathias just lets it go, and that should just about do it. With 5 to go. A year ago, the Blues did not beat the Canucks in 3 games. And the Canucks and Ryan Miller win 4-1 here in St. Louis.
A little scrap afterwards. Backes and Zack Kassian. I was watching Ryan Miller's response as he clutched his left hand and was obviously pretty excited with the way this turned out. He told me this morning that he wanted to come back here and definitely get himself a victory here. And here's after it with Backes and Zack Kassian here. And I thought at this point, with the sticky leather glove in the face of David Backes, everything had gone there. There's a time if you wanted to drop and go, that would be a golden opportunity as the Vancouver Canucks celebrate with their new goaltender, Ryan Miller, who is really strong in this hockey game. There's no question about that. They got some help early on. And Chris Higgins really started things out. You see that 6 shots on goal, a goal and 1 assist, and a real effective hockey game up front for the Vancouver Canucks.